Now it works. What's up with that? That's really crazy. I don't know. That's really crazy. For some reason, in OBS, the mic got unset, basically. So from the mic, you can choose the different mics and everything, and it just basically got set to default and not the actual mic. It worked last night, so what the fuck happened between then and now? Alright, let's go back to camera 1 and see if this should still work. Yeah, it still works. Alright, same mic. There we go. Fuck's sakes. Sorry, kiddos. Crazy. But that does happen sometimes. We are live. It never scripted. So it is what it is. Jesus. Anyway, welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Silent of Mecha. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Anyway, with that being said, make sure you go buy some... And then also, too, if you're in the market for new apparel, some awesome merch, go check out the Child of Mecha store, shop.childofmecha.com. Go and get you some. Go and get you some. Support your boy. It's really good stuff, too. Really good. Anyway. Yeah, everybody with the... Yeah. Brian with the Unk alert. 440 joules. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, buddy. How many Tims does it take to turn on the audio? I gotcha. Yeah, well. Charles Dodge is over there on Twitch. Morning, afternoon, everyone. Charles, how the hell are you, dude? We got Pete. He says, greetings, model citizens. Mr. Rundis is with us today. Good old morning tech issues. Yeah, for real, right? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Mike says, indeed, right? Why are we playing silent theater? Pete says, yeah, silence speaks volumes, right? Pantomime. There we go. Tim used sign language. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, now everything's good. Yeah. Anyway, Gio says, to answer your question from last night, Tim, I've been kicked out of 4 Facebook groups. and this YouTube channel. What? Whose YouTube channel? Not mine. Never ever. Mike says, I was looking over the 40th anniversary paints I have, and I don't have enough graphite black. What? Whoa. Oh, man. Oh, I'm tired, you guys. I was up late. Too late. I was up working. Of course. Because why wouldn't I be? Anyway, we're going to get some work done tonight. More work, obviously, than we did last night. If you missed it last night, it was basically just answering a lot of good questions and things like that. A lot of good information. A tour of my paints and stuff like that I have up in the cabinet here, aside from the Mr. Color rack. And yeah, overall it was just, it was a good stream, I think. So anyway, all right. So without any further ado, let's go camera 2. Oh man, and so here we go. Let's get that strapped on here. Now, last night we went ahead and glued the arm here. This is rock solid. Put a little bit more glue between the arm and the stop block there, and then just dribbled a little bit behind here. So this is all just really nice and rigid and stiff, and that's all, not going anywhere at this point. And since we went ahead and glued this in place with the other plates on, those go on super easy. Alignment's perfect. So that's looking really, really good there too. So now we can go ahead and start to attack how to mount these fuel tanks. And for that, we're just basically going to drill a couple 3mm holes in this plate back here, right? Pretty straightforward, nothing crazy or anything like that. Now we are going to stagger one. Now last night I wanted to put together 3 plates of 1mm strip. Well, guess what? I found I had some actually 3mm thick plastic sheets. So rather than dick around with gluing other pieces together, I'm just going to cut this, and this will be perfect. So this is good. Actually, I already cut one and drilled the hole and everything from last night, and then this fits in there perfect. So that works really, really well. Now, what I also did last night, or should I say this morning, just in kind of to get ready to do all this, I went ahead and put in a couple backing plates here, because this is where the top tank is going to get drilled into. So figure to have a little bit more, you know, something there to you know, grab onto and everything for the tanks and all that. So that that'll work out real nicely there. So excuse me. So with that being said, let's just get caught up with the chat here real quick before we commence. Pete says promises. I know we're actually going to get work done today, I think. Renda says, speaking of paints, I look at that Mr. Color shelf in the background and can only wonder how viscous all of those paints have become over the years. Actually, they're not bad. I mean, obviously they've all been sealed and they've been, you know, kept in a, you know, climate-controlled environment. It's always, you know, they've always been inside, never outside or anything like that. So, no, I mean, they're still perfectly fine. Shit, I'll grab a rando and we'll crack it open and see. Now, some of these obviously haven't been thinned down. What do we pick? Let's go for this crazy red. What is this? Shine red. That's wild. It's insanely bright, right? So number 79 is our candidate here for inspection, and we're gonna get the Mr. Hobby wrench and we're gonna crack that open here. Hey, what? Charles Dodge with the order. This guy. Let's take a look. Oh, look at you, Charles. Very nice, buddy. Very nice. Mecha Army shirt. The Gundam skull. That's a good one. It's one of my favorite designs, too. And he picked up a couple stickers. A Bear Guy sticker and a Chibi airdrop. Nice. Charles, thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And, so yeah. So there we go. Now, obviously, the pigment has, you know, separated from the carrier, but if you look at it, it's still really looking good. You know what I mean? So let's do a little shaky here. Let's do a little bartender impersonation. If you guys remember that old Tom Cruise movie, Cocktail. It was a weird fucking movie, right? Where they played bartenders and stuff, and they did all these crazy stunts and shit, and that's kind of where that whole thing started back in the 80s. But yeah, look at that. And she's still alive and kicking now. It's hard to see on camera because, man, that red just eats up the light, doesn't it? Jesus. But yeah, that's she's looking good. She's looking good. Yeah. So, just a random inspection. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, they're all nice and they all stay. And obviously I have had paints here and there dry out over the years. More Tamiya than Mr. Color. But honestly, I've just put thinner back into it, let it kind of soak in. Just keep that going for a little bit, and she's back. So yeah, paints are usually pretty easy to revive at that point. So I know Bill had said last night if they freeze, that can have a pretty adverse effect. But thankfully, I've never stored mine outdoors, like in a shed or a garage or anything like that. So they've always been stored inside the house. So there's no risk of that, thankfully. So yeah. Let's see. Mikey has a question.
We have a question.
Thoughts on a Jesta colored PG new? Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the new would look good in the navy blue hues. I'm not 100% sure, Mikey. That definitely wouldn't be the route I would go. Let's put it that way. Could it look interesting? Maybe. But I don't know. So, Swanky, he's with us. He sent Floating Heart for 10 jewels. Hey, with the jewels, man. The jewels and everything are crazy. Last night, people were sending me, like, happy poop jewel things and stuff. Like, it's just, what? Swanky just made an order. Look at that. All right. Rock and roll, dude. Let's see what Swanky ordered. Look at this. Look at this guy. Very nice. Holy shit, Swanky. You know you ordered 2 and 3 of the same kind, right? He got a couple Torrington base, and then he got 3 of the Gundam skull stickers. Hell yeah, dude. Very nice. Hell yeah. Look at that. Word. Yeah, I placed an order last night too for a couple new shirts. I got a new Hummingbird shirt, and I got a Heisenflay 2 shirt. The one with the knight, not the Heisenflay Herrera with the sword and everything like that. Not the teal kind of one, but the gold one, with the knight's helmet and everything. I just think that looked dope as shit. That whole insignia is just one of my favorites, honestly. So yeah, looking really good. Let's see. Swanky says, how is it, Lelouch? Mr. Brian, buy any new kits or tools? Oh, nice red, Rundus says. Yes, it actually is kind of nice red. But it's bright as shit, though. Look at that. That is damn near bordering on neon. And that, yeah, shine red. Yeah, no doubt. It is shiny, man. It is shiny. Let's see. Apex Nerd, what's going on, dude? He says planning to buy a Verka Thunderbolt and Crossbones as a pair, or the Faz tomorrow. Which should I pick up? Ooh. Man. Go with the Faz. Go for broke, dude. Yeah. Go with the big boy. Go with the big boy. That's a tough call because I like the Thunderbolt a lot. Not so much the Crossbones. I like the design. I just don't like the size of it in general. But the Faz is that's a big boy. It's a thick, stocky boy. So I would go with that. Yeah, I would go with that. Swanky says, I got a Hyaku Gundam. It's a beauty. Nice. Yeah, Brian says, I love the funnels. Hell yeah. Charles says, that red almost... Yeah, for real. Dude, Charles, you're in my head, buddy, right? Look at that. Like, it is really bright. Like, almost fluorescent. Like, great minds, right? Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Um, Kelvin's with us. He says, hey there, bright red color. Yeah, dude, very bright. Um, Swanky says, haven't gotten to the backpack funnels. I'm looking forward to it. Do you recommend a stand? Honestly, any stand. Um, any stand that, you know, can accommodate should be fine. I'm not too much into stand, but yeah. Um, Look at that. Swanky said just ordered a couple stickers. Nice, nice. Brian says, Tim, did you just wake up? You sound groggy, my man. Were you up? Huh? Yeah. No, I was up late, and I did actually just wake up recently. I think I woke up about an hour or two ago. So yeah, still a little grog in my voice, but I'll be fine. Swanky says yes. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't an error there, Swanky. And he says, plan on picking up a hoodie as well. Very cool designs, Tim. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, dude. Hell yeah. Brian says, yeah, stand for the high V is always recommended for awesome flying poses. Hell yeah. Gary's with us. Good frickin' morning, Tim, and awesome chat. Gare, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. Bill says, I've been working on the car trying to figure crap out. Howdy all. Probably won't be here long, but stopping in while taking a break. Bill, take care, buddy. I know today's going to be, you know, a challenge and everything, but we got you. We got your back. If you need anything, you let us know. But yeah, you'll get through it. You're good, man. You're good. Gary says, what's wrong with the car, Bill? Cool, I'll look up the best one. There you go. Mikey says the Faz Verka was such a satisfying build. Everything snapped together silkily smooth. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, Faz Verka, there you go. Bill says right now I think it may be the battery, but I think I have it narrowed down to either that or the starter. Let's see. Timmy need a second merch line called Mocha. I don't even like coffee, man. Gary says, Bill, last check his alternator. There you go. Yeah, Gary knows a good amount about cars. I don't know shit about cars, I'll be honest with you. I just know to do the regular maintenance and everything, but that's it. So, anywho, all right, let's get to work. Let's go bring these parts into frame here. And like I said, we've got the tank, we've got our spacer block here. That fits in super, super nice. Good stuff there. And then also too, when we fit this on, and then this will be glued in eventually. But when we put this guy in here, it's a pretty good fit. There's some play there that I want to address. So we're gonna cut another piece and hopefully get a bit of a tighter fit, because I do want that to be just perfectly centered. I don't know if it'll translate on camera. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it there. I marked out from point to point and drilled the center out. And I'll be honest with you, I was going to use drill bits, but the thing that did the best was these little spinny chisel things from God Hand. These are just so sharp and accurate. I needed, you know, an exactly 3mm hole, so this was perfect. Honestly, just a perfect scenario. So, all right, so we've got our 3mm, I dare I say strip, because this thing is not a strip, it's more of a block. We have our 3mm block here. Now, we could do that, but that's too tall, right? So what I'm thinking and this is kind of here it is. What I'm gonna do here. This is the square side. All right, so we're gonna go 7 millimeters in height, right? Now, for this, I'm gonna start by scribing a 0.2 millimeter line. We don't really have to worry about it too much being neat or anything like that. It just has to be accurate. It just has to be straight, and that's really what the T-square is all about there. There we go, and that's deep enough. We're not going to go any deeper. We're not going to cut it with the chisel. But what we are going to use to cut this thing is just a little hobby saw, just one of these little guys here that I got. Just I don't even know where I got these from, but this is more of a finer tooth, and it's basically like an upside down X-Acto blade type of thing. So yeah, so let's get to sawing this. I'm just kind of rocking that back and forth. I'm actually going to overhang this guy here a little bit. Yeah, this shit is thick. Come on. There it is. There it is. All right. Good stuff. All right, so just real quick, just clean up that edge. Very good. Now, this is way too wide for what we need, right? This is just a little too narrow for what we need. So this, we're gonna go 8 millimeters, 8 millimeters wide for our next cut on this thing. Let's just get the chaff off of here. Okay, so 8 millimeters is what we want. And what's the total length on this right now? It's about a little over 11. Yeah. All right, so we want to take off just about 3, we're going to call it 3 millimeters right now. Yeah, right about there. All right, and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to scribe a line first. Boom. Now, to hold this little bastard is going to be fun. All right, that should do it there. And then, now, the really tedious, annoying part here is trying to get this thing, trying to hold this thing while I cut it, right? So it definitely wants to move around, as you can see. Well, maybe not, but still, it definitely wants to move around. Whew. Man, those corners are murder on your fingertips. All right, we're getting there, though. We're getting there. All right. At that point, I think we can go ahead and probably use the chisel blade here and just go in and cut the rest of this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Very nice, very clean. Excellent. All right, so now we need to see if this guy actually fits in here. Now, hopefully, it's snug, but not like terrible. Ooh, that may be dead on. Yeah, that's a solid fit. That's a solid fit on both sides. Like, it's touching both sides, and yeah, ooh, look at that. Like, I'm squeezing this part, but man, it's still got a little, it can move freely. Very, very little play. That's perfect. That's perfect. It's exactly what we want. Excellent. That is excellent. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so we need another one of those. So just real quick, let me go ahead and kind of do that here. Now we want to go, what was this, 7 we decided on? Yeah, about 7. Minus the, wait, was it? Yeah, okay. Measure twice, measure 3 times, or 4. Whatever. All right, so 7 minus the 0.2 for the chisel. For the kerf of the chisel and the blade. All right. All right, good deal there. Now, one thing that I just kind of thought about here, let me see something. This is, yeah, exactly 8. So, what if we started our cut on this thing from a place of, right there, from a place of stability, right? What if we started this right here like this? All right, and then let's see how that shapes up. That's looking pretty dang good. Yeah, that's almost damn near perfect. Excellent. All right, so then what we can do is we can make this cut going this way, get that little block out of there, cut it to length, and then boom, all while we have the stability of this piece. I should have thought of that first, but hindsight being what it is. Okay, good deal there. Now we can go in. Let's raise up, twist the stop blocks here, and go from this angle. Yeah. See, that's a whole lot easier. Yeah, see, that's a whole lot easier. And then get our little Hasagawa tri-tool thing going here with the aggressive tooth side. Come on. There we go. That's a much better angle to go at. Very nice. Very nice. That is perfect. Okie dokie. So now we can do our cross cut here. We'll get caught up in the chat here in a moment. Come on, come on. There goes the block. And there goes our step. Nice. Yeah, that worked much better. That was a much better scenario. Let's clean up this edge. Okay. And let's just get the chaff scraped off of those sides here. Very good. All right, and then now let's marry these two up here and see what we're looking at. That is damn near exact. All right, cool. Kind of excited by that. Let's see how this fits on this piece. Pop that guy in there. Okay, little wide on this guy. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's why we test fit. So we need to bring in the one side just a hair. So I'm just going to use the file and just aggressively go at this for a little bit. All right, let's see. Let's see what that did here. All right, still a little bit more. Still need to take off a little bit because it's kind of not allowing the piece to fully come together and fully set. So not a problem. We just make some adjustments. Let's see what that does here now for us. Are we closer? Ooh. There we go. Yeah. That's pressed together, and as you can see, it can move freely. So that gives us really, really good fit. That's excellent. That is excellent. Yeah, and that's perfectly sized too. All right, so there we go. We've got our two step blocks. Excellent. This is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, now then, chisel discipline. Let's go and get caught up in the chat real quick. Let me get a drink of water. Mix up the drink mix. Oh, yeah. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Very good. Anyway, let's get caught up, shall we? Let's see. Brian says, if you need any help, Bill, shoot me a message. I'm on Autotech. You are not Brian. What do you normally work? I mean, okay, so Brian, let me ask you this. Number one, do you work at a dealership or an independent? Now I'm interested. Let me know. Let's see. Gary says, or last check fuses. Yeah. Gary says, if Brian is an Autotech, if not, solve your situation. Message him. Good luck. Yeah, true. What is the link that Bill gave us here? Let's see. To Amazon. Let's see. Clicky. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, there you go. There's those micro saw blades. Is that what I bought? Did I buy this? It doesn't say I bought it previously, but basically the same things, yeah. And it's by Zona, so yeah, they're a good company. All right. Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, I don't know where I got these little knife-shaped saw blades. Interesting. Good call, Bill. Nice. All right, good stuff. Yeah, they're made by Zona. Very nice. Pete has a question. We have a question. He says, were you cutting off that piece with a regular hobby blade or a Japanese saw type blade? Yeah, it's a saw blade. It's not Japanese. It's not anything fancy or anything like that. But yeah, so basically, you got your saw teeth on this side. Obviously, like I said, it's like an upside down, it's like an upside down X-Acto blade, right? But the teeth are on this side. So that's all. And it's got a really thin kerf, basically 0.2 millimeters, maybe 0.25, something like that. So it's fairly nice and thin, but it just mounts up into your X-Acto blade and it works. So yeah, nothing fancy. Saw blade. Yep, there you go. He used those blades I linked. Yeah, basically something similar to it, I think, right? Yeah, and there's the tri-tool. Bill posted the link to that. So those are really good. He says, when I see Tim use a tool that I think people might be interested in, excuse me, especially if it is not a common tool, I will try to link the tool in the chat. Thank you. Bill, thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Very, very good. Handren says, hey, old man. Yeah, you're old too. Shut the fuck up. What's going on, Handren? Good to see you, man. Bill sent a stay hydrated gift, 550 joules. Right? You always gotta hydrate. Let's see. Handren says, just saw your reply to my comment about the gravity feed airbrush. My opinion is facts, damn it, just like yours. K. Brian says, Gramps and I did drag racing, so I learned everything from him. Nice. Worked at a private Porsche resto shop, Honda dealership during college, and I'm an Air Force aviation tech. Oh, that's cool as shit, dude. That's awesome. Hell yeah, so you got tons of experience then. Fuck's sakes. With all sorts of things. My God. Yeah, Henry says, hell yeah, is that Brian? That's really, really cool, right? I wish I knew shit about cars. My God. He says, haha, you're older than me, fucker. Not by much. Pete says, old man, George is here? Aw, poor George. Always catching the shrapnel for some reason. Oh, Georgie, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't mean for them to be mean to you. Love George, man. Todd's with us. He says hello. Todd, how the hell are you, man? Hope you're doing good, bud. Hope you're doing good. All right, let's get back to it. We got our blocks cut. This is all looking very, very nice. Now comes the kind of daunting part, and that's for trying to figure out placement where to drill the mounting holes for these tanks, right? Because we want, or I want, the top tank to basically come in contact with this boom arm here, right? I think it's going to, number one, I think it's going to look really, really nice. It's going to leave that nice kind of open gap there. I think that is going to look really, really cool, you know, in silhouette and everything. And yeah, I dig the look of it and everything. So we need to figure out at what point on here do we go about, you know, drilling holes for this tank. Now, let's see if we put our stop block or our step block right there. Is that going to interfere? And no, it shouldn't interfere too much. We may have to bevel that top leading edge, but that's of very, very little consequence. But other than that, it's not going to interfere. As you can see there, it's not going to interfere with, you know, drilling a hole or anything like that. So that's actually excellent. What may happen when this gets, yeah, see, when this gets seated in, yeah, we're probably going to have to cut in a bevel on that top corner. But again, that's not a big deal at all. So that's actually really, really good. All right, cool. So let's put that guy off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put him back here on the backstop so I don't lose him and I have to end up cutting another one. Let's get a little help from some poster tack here in terms of holding the actual piece, right? And let's put that right there and put this guy, bury him in that tack. There we go. Very, very nice. It's not going anywhere at this point. Very, very good. Excellent. All right, so with that being said, we can remove the stop block. Now, what I want to do is just make a little indentation on the side here to indicate where the hole needs to be drilled vertically on this piece, right? So what I want to do is have this run parallel right there. Okay, perfect. And what I'm going to do is actually flip this around. You guys can see it better, but then also too I can use my right hand to put trim in, put in this little indentation here. So, all right, so right there, right about there. All right, that is basically where we need to drill in our hole vertically on this thing. Let me just double check it here from my angle. Yeah, that's perfectly centered. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. All right, cool. So now that we have our vertical orientation, we need to figure out horizontal. So, you know, basically we need to figure out where in here, this way, how we kind of figure, you know, where that all, I don't know, fucking words escape me right now. Thinking and talking at the same time. Not a good scenario. All right, so there's an indentation, like you guys can see right there. That is 3.5. So what is that, about 1.75? Yeah. About 1.75 millimeters in. Okay. So probably about right there. I couldn't make a mark, but let's see. See what that little mark that I put in there, see what that does. That's pretty dang close. Just a little to the right, and I think we got it. Let's see. Yeah, bingo. All right, cool. So we've got our horizontal placement now. Let's right about there. All right. So what I'm gonna do. Just putting a little indentation with my hobby knife right in there. And then press in a pilot hole with my little scriber deal, just so that point has, that little pinpoint on the little chisel thingy has a, you know, place to drill into. This should be interesting. That may not work. We may need to go another route. We may need to go traditional, a traditional drill bit, simply because it's not going in perfectly straight at that point. So we could futz with it and kind of all that. It's, you know, not a huge deal, I don't think, but still, I'd rather it be more accurate than not. But how off is it? Is it tolerable? That's the main thing. Yeah, it's tolerable. Fuck it, let's run with it. And you can hear that knurling rubbing up against the arm. Okay. So, how does that look? Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Okay, perfect. Alright, I think we'll be in good shape. If we need to adjust it, we can adjust it. It's not a, I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. Alright, we're about through, and there she is. Nice. That thing makes short work of plastic. My God, is that thing sharp. There we go. Alright, so we got our hole in there. It's not too bad. A little, I think it's a little off center, but I don't think that's going to be a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. No, because we can adjust it. All right, cool. So let's see what this looks like. Ooh. Yeah. That's looking really nice. And when we go to glue this in, we can kind of adjust it and get it nice and straight and everything. But man, that's a good look. It's a good silhouette. There's a little gap there, but yeah, it's nothing that I'm too worried about right now. So very good. Now let's get our spacer, our step block in here and see. Get in there. Is that gonna be problematic? No, it doesn't actually look like it's going to be problematic at all. That fits nicely. There's a little bit of a gap between the spacer block and the edge of the other tank, so that's perfect. That's actually really, really good. Excellent. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. Good, 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 good. All right, so let's get this side popped off of there. Now, one thing that I do want to address before I put this spacer block in here is this indentation. Because if I just glue the spacer block in here, it's not necessarily going to be even, right? It's going to be leaning down on one side. You know, there needs to be a bit of padding underneath of this this step block. So I think what I might do is glue in like a 1/4 millimeter little strip underneath of this thing. Now, let's see, is this going to be, that's too thick. Okay, so we're going to need like a 3.2, something like that. Maybe this will be good. Yeah, that's perfect. Okie doke. Cool, cool, cool. So, just basically run a strip of this right down the center. We may need to sand it down a little bit, but I think we'll be in good shape. All right, cool. So we're just going to super glue this into place. I'm not going to dick around with the plastic magic right now. It's going to take too much time. So we're going to little... Whew. Huh. Yeah, there we go. So let's get this. Just a little bit there. There we go. All right, and then we'll get that out of the way. Okay. Press that into place. Snip off the excess, put that off to the side, and we'll do the same thing there. Now, like I said, this indentation in here is not very thick at all. So this 1/4 mil may be too thick for it, but we'll take a look and see. That's not bad. Let's see what happens when I just put this other plate on here. Okay, that went all fuckety. Alright, let's see. We hold this into place there. Yeah, that's actually not bad. We may not have to do anything there. Okay. Alright. Cool. So, with that being said then, let's figure out center for this. And what we're going to do is basically just put our hobby knife at one corner and marry it up to the corresponding diagonal corner and just press in lightly to make a mark. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. The other set of corners here. Just like that. And we should have dead center. Now this is 8 mil, so this center point should be at 4, dead on. And then this is 7 mil, so this should be at 3.5. And it is. All right, so that's, yeah, the dead ass center on this piece, so that's perfect. All right, a little pilot hole right there in the center, just a little off. There we go. And what we'll go ahead and do is start drilling this hole before we mount it. I'm just checking that for center both length and width. That looks pretty good. Once we get this drilled out, we'll catch up in the chat here. Yeah, man, this right here, I kind of like this better than traditional drill bits. It's so much more accurate, and yeah, it's really, really, really good. Obviously, it's limited to the sizes, but you know, if you need an exact size on a you know, per 0.5 millimeter scale, this shit right here, this is the way to go. These are definitely worth their weight. All right, about to punch through. There it goes. Boom. Very nice. Clean through that strip too. Just clean. That's really nice. Yeah. Really, really nice. All right, perfect. So then, we've got our top hole. We've got our... Fucker. We've got our bottom. And... we're just going to... let me sand this down a little bit because of the chaff that came out from the drilling. There we go. All right. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's what I like to see. Okay, so real quick, we're going to just get this glued in to this side. And for that, again, we're going to use super glue here. And we're going to mount this, excuse me, in the grippy tweezers. And then a little on that side, little right there, bada boom, bada bing. And right in the corner. Yeah. Very good. All right. Little kicker, and then we'll get caught up. Very nice. All right. And the good thing is very little, if any, squeeze out on the other side here. So let me... does that fit under? Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. That is good. That is good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then, of course, you know, once we go to close this up, we'll glue everything, seam it, you know, all that'll be good. So, excellent. All right. Let's get caught up in it. Whew, goddamn, a lot of chat. What the hell are you guys talking about? My God. Let's see here. Jesus. All right, this is it's going to take a while. All right. So, here we go. Henry says George is the man. Yes, he is. Love George to death, man. Todd says surviving. How are you, Tim? I'm good. A little groggy, but we good. We good. Let's see. Pete says it is a running joke. I am practically as old as him, but always try to find new and creative ways of referring to him as old. And he says, if you tell him I admitted to being practically as old as him, I will deny everything and cut a hole in all of your socks. Oh, shit. Fair enough, Pete. Secret safe with me. Let's see. Miss Akuma is with us. Hey-oo. What's going on, girl? Let's see, Handren, LOL, right? Swanky says, you guys don't seem old to me. You know, we cosplay as old, I think. So, Akuma says she's mentally 20-something still, right? Same. Socks? Come on. We all know Tim only wears Crocs. LOL, he actually hates them. Yes, I fucking do. Oh my god, dude. Bill says, Eastwank, I'm 47. I'm 48. So, yeah. A little elder, but not by much, but still. 40s are the new 30s. Always remember that. You're only as old as you think, right? Only as old as you think. Akuma says, probably 20-something years I've known Tim. Yeah, long-ass time from back in the Gundam.com days, right? Holy shit. Pete says, mentally I'm 3. Chronologically I'm 50. Physically I'm 276. Right? Oh shit. Swanky says, hell yeah, Bill, I'm 26. Dang, you goes way, or dang, you does go way back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, Swanky. Like I said, being in this hobby for over 25 years, you meet all sorts of cool and interesting people. Akuma, obviously, being one of them. And, yeah, you meet a lot of really, really cool folks. So that's kind of what you have to look forward to, is kind of finding, you know, like I said last night, your tribe, if you will. So it's been awesome, dude. Some of the best friends I've ever made are from this hobby, honestly. So it's a really, really good thing. It's very positive, you know, when you kind of find your people. Yeah. So let's see. Todd says, I'll be 50 next year and my body feels like it's 80. Oh, man, yeah. He says, I have nerve and muscle damage. Yeah, that sucks, dude. Sucks. Henry says, tack life it. Tack life what? Swanky says, sorry to hear that, Todd. Yeah, it's rough. It's got to be rough. Bill says, no matter our ages, we are all kids who love playing with our little toy robots. You're damn right there, Bill. You're damn right. Kuma says, jealous of people who aren't beat up. Yeah. Todd says, thank you, Swank, for understanding. Oh, absolutely. Kuma says, toy robots, dinosaurs, superheroes, etc., etc. Yeah, all cool shit. All from, you know, 80s, 90s. Fuck yeah, golden age of you know, toys and cool shit. You know what I mean? Back when, you know, back before, you know, computers were a huge thing, and obviously, you know, cell phones and social media and all that. But man, yeah, those are the golden days, man, of just cool shit, you know, as a kid. So Todd says, I'll share something with you guys, and I'm not afraid of telling people. He goes on, he says, I'm a survivor of mental, physical, and sexual abuse from my childhood. I was in foster care when I was 7 till age of 16. It was hell for me. And then years later, I was diagnosed with PTSD. Shit, Todd, I'm sorry. Fuck. He says, after the 2 nervous breakdowns I had. Yeah, I mean, that'll fuck anybody up, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. My God. You know, And that's the thing, man. You know, you never know what kind of life or struggles or challenges the next person is going to have. So that's why it's always important, especially in our community, man, but in general too, just to be a cool person. You know what I mean? Just be cool with people. Just be a good person. Have a good heart. You know, like that's as simple as it is. And that's just all that it takes. Just be a good fucking person. You know what I mean? And Todd, buddy, you found your people here, man. You found your people. So look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? So we got you. We got you. Hell yeah. Pete says, yeah, sorry to hear that. But once you've tried being broken, you appreciate and get a bit protective of the remaining health. For sure. For sure. You know, it's like, you know, this is the thing. It's similar to like a bottle of water. Once it's gone, it's gone. As I dribble some down my fucking face. My God. What kind of Neanderthal am I right now? Jesus. Did I get anything on my shirt? Yeah. You fucking Nimrod. Anyway, there we go. But as I was trying to eloquently illustrate before I dribbled on myself, you know, your health, your mental health and everything, your emotional health is kind of like this bottle of water. Once it's gone, it's gone. You know, you can try to refill it, but it's not quite the same. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I know going through the shit that I went through, I'm better, but I'm not the same, you know? I'm not the same person. I never will be. And shit, looking back at it, I don't know if I want to be, you know? I'm more independent now. I'm more self-sufficient. I'm more of a highly functioning adult now than I was before, you know? I can do things and figure things out on my own where I honestly was kind of dependent, you know, on the other half beforehand, before everything went down. So I was forced to evolve. And it wasn't easy, you know. And I think we've all kind of had those instances. And it does, I don't know necessarily if makes you a better person is the most accurate thing to say, but it makes you a more resilient person. Yeah, it makes you a more resilient person. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, it's not necessarily consolation, but it is a reaction, I guess, to it, you know? So, yeah. We all got our shit. We all go through shit. But at the end of the day, that's what being with people, like-minded people, is all about. It's that camaraderie. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's why we're all here and hanging out, right? We can be broken together. So, there you go. As I fucking tear up a little bit here. Whew. Christ's sakes. Yeah, I'm going off camera for a few seconds here, you guys, just to, you know, somebody started cutting onions or something like that. I don't know what happened. So, there we go. Anyway, Henry says, fuck it, everybody grows old and leave all our shit we worried and cared about so much for another to keep or throw away. LOL, life is just fucked up like that. Yeah, no, it's true. It is true. Pete says, oof, I just blew out my back. Oh, man. Petey, be careful, buddy. Bill says, sorry to hear that, Havoc, but glad to see you have found a hobby here that I'm sure helps you mentally. Hell yeah. He says, yes, between that and my mom and my gaming and meeting you guys on here, and especially, oh, fuck off with that. But thank you still, Todd. I appreciate that. Very grateful. I love to watch. Wow. That shit. There goes the onions again. God damn it. I didn't have this on my bingo card today, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, shit. There we go. All right. Fuck sakes. We're good. We're good. Bill, nice. Yeah. Tim, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that, buddy. You guys as well. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's not just me. It's the collective. Always remember that. Always, always remember that. Brian said, Bill said it perfectly. Also sending you some prayers, my man. I know that's a lot for one person. Hell yeah. Todd says, my mother is the only family that bothers, other than my half-brother has been messed up on drugs for years, and his mentality is of a 13-year-old. Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. It's, when it comes to family, and this is something else that I've learned. When it comes to family, family can be problematic, you know? I have problematic family, you know? And sometimes you have to set boundaries for yourself. Blood is not thicker than water. That old adage is a load of horse shit. If they are not assisting in keeping your peace, then they are actively going against your peace. So with that being said, sometimes it's healthy to cut off family. I have. And I don't regret it. That doesn't mean that there's no room for reconciliation, you know, keep that in mind. But for the time being, until that manifests, nah. If you ain't with me, you're against me. And I don't want any part of it. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's perfectly fine to set boundaries like that. Hard boundaries, too. And that goes for, honestly, anybody, but especially for family. Because they can be some of the worst. And they will use that, oh, but we're family bullshit on you. Nah, brah. Nah, we're not playing that game. Fuck with that. Apex Nerd, he sent a happy poop for 10 jewels. The happy poop. Oh my fucking god. Thank you, Nerd. I appreciate you, buddy. Holy crap. Yeah. And then Bill has... Bill put a link in there for the God Hand Spin Blades. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. Was the second agent an accelerant or just more glue? No, that was Kicker. That was... yeah, the Kicker, this stuff here. This is, and I rebottled this. This is the Bob Smith Industries. It's like Zip Kicker, but yeah, it's accelerant or activator or whatever you want to call it. But I find that putting it in this little needle dropper is so much better than that shitty spray thing that they have. You just get a lot more accuracy with this, and you don't waste as nearly as much. So. Yeah, I like this little guy very, very much here. So yeah, just an accelerator. So yeah, I mean it takes hardly any time, and it kicks immediately, and you can actually see the chemical reaction in front of your eyes. It's actually really freaking cool. It's impossible to show you on camera because of all the lights, and it's clear and everything. But when you see it in person, it's actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's just Kicker. Kuma says, I still have my Gundam store and more magnet and pen. Oh my god, it doesn't work, but they kept it anyway. Hell yeah. That's nostalgia right there. She says 20 years ago, us female things were rare in this hobby. Oh, you still are, honestly. Still are. If I look at the demographics of my different social media and stuff like that, it's like 98, 99% male to female ratio. It's wild, but still. Apex Nerds, I'm cool in my own way. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, nerd. Yes, you are. Kuma, or maybe like 24 years. I don't know. I'm not counting. Right? Trying not to, anyway. Handren says, indeed, as long as it doesn't turn into a cult, then this community is great. Bill says a cult is fine until they try to get you to drink Kool-Aid or hold out against the ATF. Oh, fuck, man. That's funny. That's good. Now, mind you, the bad thing is that probably a lot of people won't even understand that reference, Bill, but yeah. So, the holdout from the ATF were the Branch Davidians, and then the Kool-Aid. What was the name of that guy? I forget the cult leader's name, but he was this larger-than-life dude, and I think it was like in some South American country, I forget where that took place, but yeah, basically the authorities were coming for him, and he laced the Kool-Aid that they were making with, like, I think cyanide or something like that, and had the whole group drink the Kool-Aid, and that's where the saying "drink the Kool-Aid" comes from. Is fucking cult drank the Kool-Aid and right off with you. So yeah. Anyway, Henry says, as long as each individual has their own opinion and doesn't follow every damn thing the person he follows like a Bible verse, then we will be good. Fair. Todd says, thank you, Tim. Your words and inspiration are much appreciated. Dude, always, dude. I mean, that's, it's one of the things that I wanted to try and accomplish when I came back to streaming was kind of like, yes, teach you guys my way of modeling, obviously, right? But then also, too, try to incorporate, some kind of, I guess, motivation, people improving types of ideas and things like that, all of that. So hopefully we, are able to do that as well. So, Nerd says, to Todd, send up of the bat signal and one of us will come to your aid, buddy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bill says this is the Church of Styrene, not the Church of Plop. Thank you. Let's see. Pete says, Timmy is my hero, so elegant, suave, and stylish. Aw. Men want to be him, and women want to be with him. The epitome of manliness and elegance. Petey, thank you, buddy. Let's see. Life is the best teacher most of the time. A very cruel teacher, but nevertheless the lesson that is needed to keep going, Handren says. Absolutely. Absolutely. Todd says Batman was always my childhood hero. Backcountry. There you go. Handren says, LOL, Church of Plot Plate. Yeah, right. Akuma says, randomly got into Spider-Man 2099 recently, so I'm trying to make up for lost time. Yeah, I never really got into all that very much, Apex Nerd says to Pete, Tim is no Austin Powers. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, baby. God, those were great. I gotta go back and rewatch that trilogy, man. Those were classic. Todd says, I get teary from time to time thinking back to everything that's happened to me, but I try my best to remain strong. Hell yeah. I mean, listen, you're here. you're, hanging out with us. Yeah, that's proof enough, in my opinion. Proof enough. Handren says to Akuma, jump on Assassin's Creed next. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Apex Nerd. Man, Apex is such a good dude. Havoc, we're here for you, buddy. Hell yeah. I echo that. Bowie's with us. Bowie says, well, I have done my marathon of Kamen Rider 1971 and Ultraman 1996 to finish my grandpa's wish of watching old Toku stuff. Rest in peace, Gramps. Oh, man, that's cool. That's cool. That's a nice sentiment, to honor Grandpa like that. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Todd says thank you to Apex Nerd. Hell yeah. Handren agreed. Yep. Bill says nice, Bowie. Did you enjoy them and get what your Gramps wanted you to enjoy about them? Right? He says I lost my grandpa a week ago. Oh fuck. Bowie, I'm sorry, man. He says, so watching Ultraman Q, Ultraman 1966, and Kamen Rider 1971 till the finale was something, breaks me down and make me want to cry. So yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's rough. That's rough. I was never really close to either one of my grandfathers, but my grandmother on my mom's side, I was really, really close to. Man, losing her was rough. Losing her was rough. And it was very sudden, too. She had cancer, and it came on like that. And, week or two, she was unfortunately gone, but still, yeah. And that was, mind you, that was years and years ago. That wasn't recently, but I still kind of remember that. But, yeah, dude, that's rough. I'm sorry, Bowie. I'm very, very sorry to hear that. Todd says the thing about my half-brother is that he never experienced what I went through. He was never physically abused by his father like my mother and I was. Yeah. He says, my condolences, Bowie. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bill says, nice. May I make a suggestion? Get a picture, screenshot, or something of your favorite scenes to surround a picture of your Gramps. That would be cool, right? Henry says, sorry for your loss, Boo. Yeah, definitely. Todd says, life is too short. I'm religious. I believe we will all be with our family in the afterlife. Nice. Akuma says, wait, I have my GSAM membership card somewhere too. Oh my God. She says, how did I forget that? And yeah, we don't have any female builders, but there's more. That's true. Yeah, I mean, you have more, just not enough in my opinion. Not enough. There needs to be more female builders. And mind you, actual builders too, not the, not the, oh look, I'm building, not, I get the hustle and all of that, and if you got it, use it, I guess, right? But I don't know. I always, I should say in comparison to the guys that are like, look at me, I'm doing crazy edgy shit. Like, that's the same type of thing. You know what I mean? These cringy dudes that are on here making haha funny shit. Like, just fucking build, dude. Like, enrich the community, pass along knowledge. Like, come on, teach, improve somebody's life rather than just trying to, hustle on social media. They're the same exact thing, just, two sides of the same coin. Let's put it that way. We need more builders in general. Let me revise my previous statement. We need more builders in general, more modelers in general. Not box collectors, not, show offs, hey, look what I got, or anything like that. I mean, that's cool every once in a while, but when it's your whole shtick, bruh, come on. Just fucking do something. Do something. Yeah. I mean, there are guys that, their whole channel is like, reacting and, hey, look what I got. Look at this. Look at that. You know, like, come on. Like, it's just, yeah. I could name names, but I won't. It's such laborious bullshit. I just do my thing. Anyway, moving on. Apex Nerd Family is more than blood these days. You're goddamn right. Todd says there are two sisters that stream online. They are called Gumpla Sisters. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. Huh. Where do they stream, Todd? Are they on Twitch, YouTube? Whereabouts? Might have to look this up. Support, you know? Gio says, I have lost close to $500,000 trying to help friends and my wife's family. Holy shit. Other than my kids, my wife, my girlfriend, that my family now. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Gio, that's crazy. And that speaks volumes, buddy, to you. That you went out and, you know, spent that much money. That speaks volumes about you as an individual. So, golf clap. Hell yeah. Akuma says, People's Temple, fuck, what's his name? Yeah. Gui says to Bill, I will, and using action figures of both the original Ultraman and Kamen Rider 1 to pay tribute for both franchises and him too. That's awesome. Henry says, Charles something? Oh, no, see, Charles Dodge over there on Twitch. He got it. Jim Jones in South America. Yeah, Jim Jones. Jim Jones. There you go. So, yeah, Charles in first with the correct answer. There you go. I knew it was in South America. I just couldn't remember the dude's name. But, Charles, thank you, buddy, for the assist. Appreciate you. Henry says, forgot the name. Charles was Manson. Yeah, he didn't do the Kool-Aid. Yeah, no, he was just straight crazy, man. Is he still alive? I know he was, obviously, if he is, he's still in jail, but holy shit. I don't remember if that dude's still alive or not. Anyway. Akuma says, LOL, this conversation, right? Apex Nerd, I'm on the Gumpla Sisters Discord server. Interesting. I've never heard of them. I'll have to check them out. It seems like an interesting deal, you know? Todd says, has anyone ever heard of Mecha Gaikatsu? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a big reviewer. He's kind of like the yin to Zach's yang, if you will. That's a shitty comparison, but still. Where Zach is very kind of, you know, calm, kind of dry and everything, Mecha Gaikatsu is kind of the polar opposite to Zach. He's a little bit more like, hey, ho, 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 you know, which I'm not too into. But, you know, he does his thing. It's like, whatever. And I've never heard anything bad about Mecha Gaikatsu, so it's like, I mean, I'm not going to talk bad about the guy, but, like, it's just not my style, you know, plain and simple. Just not my style. So, to each their own, right? Let's see, Akuma says, I'm neglecting, like, all of my Gumpla Discords. I don't even look at Discord anymore, honestly. It's just, it's such a pain. Yeah, no, Mecha Gaikatsu. Yeah, Jim Jones and Jonestown. There you go. Bill in second. Yep. Akuma says, I don't know why my mind went blank on his name and didn't want to Google it. Yeah, well, same. Gio says, when my money ran out and I tried to ask them for help, they told me to go eat shit. Now when they want something, they know the answer. Go eat shit. Yeah, see, there you go. That's healthy boundaries right there, Gio. That's healthy boundaries. Proud of you, my boy. Proud of you. That's good. Keep that same energy, dude. Keep that same energy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Todd says, Tim, you teach us what a lot of us don't know about Gumpla building, and it's helped me to learn new things. Well, that's the goal, right? That's the goal. So I appreciate that, Todd. Henry says he's making a new one. Who's making a new one? I missed the context. Shit. Pete says, you think we should remind him I wrote all that sarcastically while he was busy drooling over himself. Come on now. Yeah, drooling over, bleh, right? Like a, Jesus. Anyway, Todd says, I lost my father to cancer back in 99, but my father and I were never really close. Yeah. Gio says, I told them if I call and you don't answer me, don't call back. I don't care who it is, you're getting cut off. See? Gio, that's healthy energy right there, buddy. That's fucking healthy as... that's super, super healthy. Yeah, I like that. Get it. Get it. Bowie says, thank you guys, by the way. Hope y'all have a great day or night. Bowie, same, buddy. He says, it's night for me, so yeah. Yeah. Henry says, not the cleavage show. Yeah, yeah. Todd, and I hope you have a great day as well. It's daytime where I live in Ontario. There you go. Henry says, hoarders. Yeah. We need a Meijin Kawaguchi. Yeah, Kawaguchi, man, Kawaguchi dropped out of the scene completely, unfortunately. I think he had some health issues, if I'm not mistaken, but not sure kind of what happened to him, unfortunately. He's a great dude. Yeah. Todd says, Tim, is Amber and Simon into Gunpla? Just curious. Amber is not. Simon is definitely dabbling at this point. Gave him some kits and stuff like that, so he was cool into that and all. So we'll see. But they're about to go off to college and everything, so who knows, how that's going to go. Let's see. Bowie says to talk about Ultraman 1966 is a fantastic and fun show to watch with your friends. So I highly recommend it. There you go. Even if those builders like name redacted. Todd says they stream on Twitch and YouTube. And then Charles over there. Gunpla Sisters stream on Twitch. Don't know if they stream anywhere else. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to look this up. You guys put me onto some game. Nice. Bill says, I define family as those who live in your heart. Damn, that's strong. He says, it has nothing to do with bloodlines or blood ties. Right? Yeah. Todd says, Tim, they live in Ontario with the Gunpla Sisters. Interesting. Nice. Apex Nerd Sisters are Canadian. Yeah. He says, well, I'll cancel my friend request I sent you on Discord. Oh, shit. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I hardly ever jump on Discord at this point. It's just kind of an ongoing thought stream, and it just loses all track, and yeah, it's just not much to it, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry, dude. Austin Powers, groovy, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. Machine Jubblies. Okay. Henry says, we have Tim Harkins of Pla Plate Clan. There you go. Get a whole fucking tabard and everything. Let's go. Get some bagpipes and shit. Go the Highland way. There you go, boy. My family is from Scotland and Ireland anyway, so yeah, probably got some sort of, tabard or plaid or some shit having to do with Harkins, but whatever. Anyway, Pete says, remember when you said that you'd get a ton of building done today, Timmy? Well, we got sidetracked, dude, and for a good cause, for a good cause. So, yeah. Kelvin says, was it Michael Dawson asking about the Jesta new colors? Seeing Jestas in main color white, that's hard to pull off. I'm newer to this, Michael. Seeing your stuff, you might be one to pull it off. Yeah, yeah. Derry's with us. She says, hey, everyone. What's going on, Derry? Good to see you. Hanron says, let's see, Gunpla Sisters are cool. They actually build. Nice. I gotta check these two out then. Y'all put me on game tonight. Or today. Shit, what am I saying tonight? Let's see, Gio says, I lost both of my parents and my brother about 10 years ago, so thought that by helping them, they would become my family, but I learned that lesson quickly. Well, like I said, Gio, keep that same energy, dude, because that's a healthy way of looking at things, Because if they're not with you, if they don't support you, buddy, you don't need them in your life. Set that boundary, dude. Set that boundary. Charles over there on Twitch, he says, by the way, the full saying is blood of the covenant is stronger than the water of the womb. Okay. Nice. Again, I learned something there. Let's see, Gio says, can't wait for 2 girls, a kit, and a cut. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gio, you're killing me. Bill says, Kelvin, I think it was the other way around. I think he wanted to do a new Ingesta colors. Yeah. Derry says, here to hang out while I play emulated PS2 games. Nice, throwing it back. I love that. Yeah, Bill says, nice, Derry, right? Edwin caught up with my friend tonight. We'll rewatch the stream in the morning. Edwin, how the hell are you, dude? Good to see you, buddy. All right, cool. So we got 10 minutes left. Let's keep going. I think that was good, though. I think that was a good, divert. And yes, I wanted to get more work done, but I will always stop for something as meaningful as the conversation that we kind of just had. So that is always worth it, in my opinion. So, all right. So now that this is set up, let's get these tanks in here and let's see how they look mounted. Actually mounted. Let's get one of these guys here. Ooh. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. Just a little adjusting, when we go to glue everything, but man, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Hold on. Let's get the full effect here. Let's get the full-on effect. Man, oh man. All right, hang on. And then let's get one of these in here. I'm putting this whole thing back together, and I want to get the full-on effect. Oh, you guys, yo, man, look how badass that looks. Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, the arm was hiding it. That's why. Yeah, that looks great. That looks great. I'm super happy with that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright. Yeah. Mission fucking accomplished. Right there. Mission fucking accomplished. Yes. Yes. That looks fucking dope as shit right there. And like I said, little refinements in terms of spacing and everything, but we'll get to that when it gets to the gluing phase and everything like that. But man, that's centered perfectly right there. I might drill in a little bit more, or actually maybe clean out that hole there a little bit, because it's not seating. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah. And look, that step is almost perfect. That step is almost perfect. Yes. Let's fucking go. I love this. I love that look. Where's Julius, man? Where's Julius right now? he did the videos and everything yesterday, and he just disappeared on us. Man, he needs to see this. Shit. Dude, I wish Julius was on. Oh, man, but that looks great. Again, it has that kind of kingfisher, shape. Like, where am I going here? There we go. That the head of like a kingfisher bird. It has that type of shape. Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly what I wanted it to look like. Yeah. Nice. All right, let's get caught back up here again. Mission accomplished today. We got good work done. Let's keep it going. Let's get caught back up here real quick because you guys are chatting a lot today. Let's see. Kuma wants to know, but are they good PS2 games, right? Derry says, is still have my childhood PS2. Holy shit, but right now I don't have a good way to play games on it. Oh my gosh. I remember, yeah, oh man, PS2 back in the day. Final Fantasy VII. Man, I played that game incessantly. And it had the 2 discs that you had to swap in and out. Yeah. Edwin says, I was back from out of town visiting a friend. She is my quote-unquote brother ex, but we are thick as thieves. Nice. Metal Gear Solid, yeah, on PS2. Yeah, that was a good game too. Front Mission, never played Front Mission on PS2. At least I don't remember playing it. I might have rented it from like Blockbuster back in the day or something like that. Darius says, technically the PS2 is my sister's, but she passed it down to me when she got her PS3. Nice. Todd says, sweet, good job, Tim. Thank you, buddy. Swanky says, looks awesome. Thank you. Darius says, the way those pieces line up is just so great. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. Henry says, Tim, how about a bracket at the end of those 2 tubes that shows it being held by attached? That's actually not a bad idea. I wonder if I have the proper tube size that will sleeve over one of these tanks. Let me see. That's actually a decent idea there, Handren. Let's see. So this is, what's the outer diameter of the tank? That would be good to know first. Outer diameter is 6 millimeters. So shit, we're gonna need like an 8 millimeter outer diameter for this. 8 millimeter ish. That's 8.7. That's probably going to be too. Yeah, that's too big. 5.5. What's this one here? That's 7.9 again. Let's see. What is that's 7.9 again. 11.1. These are all sizes, by the way. 3.2. 9.5. Shit, I may not have something that properly sleeves over this. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have anything that would properly sleeve onto this thing. Now, I wonder, let me see one other thing here. Hang on. I wonder if I was to cannibalize like one of these tanks here. I wonder if the inner diameter of that, no, that's too big there. What I may end up doing is maybe, yeah, for 4 strips of styrene. What I may end up doing, maybe with like 0.5 millimeter quarter mil, something like that. And I'm not, probably not this thick, but yeah, maybe just kind of wrap it around at some point to kind of simulate kind of a bracket like that. And just wrap that around there. Maybe something like that would be cool. That's something, definitely something to explore. So that's an interesting take. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I have to think about that and see kind of what makes sense, because that may not be a bad idea. Yeah, something maybe along right here, right? Maybe to tie into the boom arm up here, right? So maybe have just a bracket that wraps around right along this section here on these tanks, something like that. Yeah, and maybe something there. Okay. But let's get caught up in a chat here because we're about to punch the clock. Let's see. Black on PS2 was my favorite game. Never heard of that one. Calvin says, Bill, I stand corrected. Thanks. I'm still #1, baby. Well, I fucking love Calvin. I fucking love Calvin. Bill says, LOL. Pete says, you're #1. You're #1. Where do we get the foam fingers, right? Oh, shit. Let's see. Todd says, I've been hooked to 7 Days. 7 Days to Die on PS5. And see, I don't play a lot of games, you guys. I just don't. Let's see. They released 3.0. Final Fantasy VII was PS1? It had 3 discs? I thought it was PS2. Oh, shit. Now I'm questioning my entire life at that point. Fuck a duck. Anyway. Bill has a question for us.
We have a question.
Any thoughts of adjusting paint color choices to bring in some of those Kingfisher colors? Oh, man. You know, that would be dope as shit. I'm not going to lie. Because the Kingfisher itself has a very distinctive color palette, right? It's an absolutely gorgeous bird. Let me show you guys here an example. So this is what a Kingfisher looks like, right? It has this, you know, bright orange chest, breast area, white, pure white under the chin. These amazing blues, and there's just different hues. Especially, look at that, the head coloration there. I mean, God, look at that. Look how gorgeous that is right there. That coloration right there on the dome of the head. And then you've got this just nice little pop of orange right off the eye and everything. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful bird. And from what I understand, it's not a big bird either, but man, it just has a awesome looking silhouette. And that long, sharp beak, just like kind of what our boosters look like here too. And yeah, I mean, it would be amazing to paint in this color scheme, but I'll be honest with you, I want to stick with the copper. I'm so sold on the copper look. This may be something to keep in mind maybe for a future project, because I do love this whole look. It's just so nice. So nice. Anyway. Alright, let's get back to it. Calvin wants to know, Tim, are the fuel tanks Apex or other? They are actually by wave. Let me get the thing moved down in the packaging here. Camera 2 there. Yeah, right there. Wave option system. This is the G tank. This is the small size for these. But yeah, these are wave. So, yeah. Wave. Yeah. Good stuff. I don't use many fuel tanks in my builds, honestly. I kind of got burned out on the whole fuel tank thing after the Hummingbird, for good reason, because that's basically half of what that mobile suit is fucking big-ass fuel tanks. But, yeah, I have a bunch of these Wave fuel tanks, and they do become very, very useful in the situations where you need them. So they're good things. They're good things. Gears of War. Nice. I never played any of the Gears of War games. Like I said, I'm not a big gamer. Handren says, send you a pic on IG. Let's see what we've got here. Handren. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was thinking. Get out of my head, Handren. Maybe not necessarily diagonal, like that, but yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. I don't know if like a diagonal bracket like that would be mechanically practical, but like, like a straight bracket coming down, just kind of holding the two together, maybe to prevent wobble or something like that, might be a more, kind of expected type of thing. But yeah, same type of thoughts. Same type of thoughts. Let's see. Let's see. Bill says fuel tanks are MSG parts, I think. No, actually, close. Wave. Yeah, Wave. Let's see. Best PS1 RPG game was Star Ocean. Second story. Final Fantasy VII was good, but Star Ocean was much better than Squaresoft's something Enix, and they became Square Enix ever since. Interesting. See, I never played Star Ocean. I played the shit out of Final Fantasy VII, and I loved that game as a kid. Let's see. They have Gears of War on PS5. Nice. Handwritten. Yep. There you go. Kelvin to Bill. Got it. Zuda style backpack? I don't know what that means. Pete says, I'm so glad you said clock. Punch the clock. Yeah. Derry, she says, my sister and I used to play the Lego Star Wars games and Battlefront 2. I miss those days. Yeah, right? I played a couple of the Lego games. Rented, not like bought or anything, but still. Those were always fun. Battlefield 6 for me on PS5 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Nice. Derry says, hopefully when I move up to Washington, where she's living, we can relive those childhood moments. That would be cool, right? Nostalgia. Brian says, pretty bird. Yeah, pretty bird. Pretty bird. Just pretty bird. Oh, man. Handren says, the handiwork of God. There you go. Okay. Bill says, cool, I was looking for a link, but wasn't 100% sure on which set it was. Yeah. Harpy Eagle is my favorite avian. Interesting. Derry says, kingfishers are one of my favorite bird species. Another top contender is the American woodcock. Holy shit. Bill says, wave, okay. Derry says, I absolutely love the call of the American woodcock. It sounds so goofy. Okay. Interesting. Bill posted a tank to USA Gundam Store, or posted a link to the USA Gundam Store. There is those tanks. Very good. Bill says, okay, gotta find a new store. Let's see. Todd says, can wait for the new Gundam game to come out. It looks good. Oh, can't. Yeah. Pete says, gotta pop smoke. Later, legends. Pete, take care, buddy. Bill posted, what is that? A Garma hobby. Cool. Good deal. All right, excellent. All right, kids, we're caught up. Let's punch this clock and call it a day. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, make sure you go by. And also remember, the Child of Mecha store is open too. So shop.childofmecha.com. Go get you some t-shirts, some hoodies, some stickers, some posters, hats. All really, really good stuff. Support your boy, yeah? Also too, man, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Go build something cool, play some cool games, do something interesting, and yeah, be safe out there, you guys. Be good to each other. We're going to see you tomorrow night. We're going to finish out the week strong, yeah? So, with that being said, stay tuned for end credits. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.